Should be live, I think. Good morning, everybody. Thursday morning, January 15th. We're back. We're back. And unfortunately, not much has changed. We're still trading very, very, very low probability setups. Let me just turn my music down slightly. There we go. Okay. So, I'll break down the daily chart just for now, just to show you where we are, and then kind of plans going into the rest of the day if we if we get the levels that I'm going to discuss. On the daily time frame, the only thing I can really discuss that I think is worthwhile is just the fact that we came down into the only support that I can see on here is the halfway back that we're in. The reason we draw this halfway back, just for those who are new, we have already broke the retracement on the short, came all the way up to the 79% fade long. That signaled the pullback halfway back, which traded after, and that completion is 26,627. So it's hard to trade that level without a pullback, and the only reason I think we came down yesterday was just to literally retest that halfway back, which is down here at 466. Now, the crazy thing about that level is if we just go to the split screen, that was literally the low yesterday, which I did not actually have drawn. I did not have drawn, but that was the 466s. I think I was probably away. I may have still been trading at that point. But anyway, we traded that halfway back. I should have maybe had an alert at that level. We traded below the ETH low, and we traded our red line, which basically is our average overshoot of the ETH low on a non-recovery day. So what's really interesting, this actually was, as you'll see, it actually was a recovery day, which is just wild and kind of goes to show what I was talking about all yesterday in terms of, if we go back to yesterday, go back to yesterday's close, I was talking on stream quite extensively about how I think this is a 90%. I even wrote a Twitter post saying even 10% days do happen. And pretty wild to see that that was a P90. So it was a recovery day, which is insane. Why was that a recovery day? Again, it closed above the ETH low. That is P90, meaning 90% of the time that will not happen. Okay? P90. 465 points, and we ended up coming up 100 and 174. This is just not likely. If you look at this, 223 would be in that 90% range. Sorry, on a recovery day. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stat. Recovery day would be 160 points down, and we went 195. The reason it's classing as 90 because 95 it is 220, so it's still classing it as a 90%. But anyway, long story short, a very unusual day yesterday, and going into today, we don't have much different in my opinion. It seems we traded the ETH high. If we just take this screen off for a second, you can see I'm just trying to code some stats at the moment just to see what the average drawdown would be after trading the in fact, I think Sam has it. I think this is it. This is your Sam, am I right? Am I right in thinking this is your average overshoot to the high is well, it will be 25,960s. Okay, your average overshoot to the highs. What's the percentage of that getting hit, Sam? Like 60% or something? I can't remember. And then your average overshoot to the lows down here, which is 25,660s, which is a really interesting level because I actually don't have any support on the NQ. Bear with me a second. Where's my chart gone? 5. Yeah, sorry. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I don't really think I can long at all today. Which is the pullbacks I would need for a long would make me sound like a crackhead if I tell you where I would need price to be for a long. Like, It's probably not going to trade, but there's nothing I can really do on the NQ. You'd have to probably come all the way back down to the ETH low, which is just, it's probably just not going to happen. So in fact, we can look at how likely ETH high to ETH low. Probability the high and low trade in the same session is 34%. So not that likely. Oh no, sorry, yeah, that's right. Probability high and low in the same session. But what is interesting is probability, the probability of hitting today's low after today's high after yesterday's low, is here, which is 43%. So pretty crazy. Sam said 54% that red line hit. So yeah, this is not bullish. It really isn't. The move has been bullish, you could argue, from the support there at the halfway back. This is the halfway back on the daily, right? Halfway back on the daily is what sent this move higher, mostly on the overnight. So if you're coming to the PC now, you've missed all of this move, right? I would never, even though this move traded yesterday from the low to the close 200 points, that's a 90%, that's going to happen 10% of the time. So that is, you can't include any of that move despite what you might think. I honestly, trust me when I say this, you will save so much time trying, I mean, do it and then see what it's like trying to trade it. But all of this move yesterday is irrelevant, and now all of this move here, for anyone that gets to the desk at 9 o'clock EST, is all irrelevant. So all of this move, as bullish as it looks, it's meaningless to me. It really is meaningless. So the only thing I can really do today is look for a short, which I don't necessarily. I mean, yeah. All I'm really going to look for is anything below 880s. If you can't hold 880s, if we break 840s, I'm going to be using 880s as a potential stop, and I'll try and ride that down. How that would look if it trades is going to be probably something like this. The only problem with this, and we could come all the way down to the average overshoot. I would probably won't even go for. I'd probably just go for like a 1 hour trade or 2 hour trade, but knowing that we've traded the ETH high gives us something to work off, because we know even when we do close above, which is only 55% of the time, so it is more likely that we close above, but only by 5%. And also, of the times where we close above, the average is now 108 points above. I think last week when we said this, the stats were 65%. So we are now closing above by 108 on a 5-minute time frame. There we go. So it's on a 5-minute time frame, which is only including 19 instances, and whereas on a half an hour you're getting 100. So that's more of a better average. 55% of the time you close above. So where we are right now is we're only going to close above by the end of the day. Half of the time, basically, just over half. And if we do close above, on average, it's going to be about 108 points. That overshoot that Sam has is around 50 points. So that, in my opinion, may get hit. Sam's saying it's 55% chance that red line gets hit, and I would strongly believe that. So 55% chance that we close above, 55% chance we could trade this red line. What does all this mean? Well, essentially, you have about 50 points left in the day to the upside on average, in my opinion. That's just how it is. So you're coming to the desk knowing that there isn't really much edge to the upside. Doesn't mean that you don't go up today. It just means the edge there from a risk to reward point of view, in my opinion, just isn't there. I drew this horizontal line here at half an hour when I was on a call with Sam this morning, saying if we're going to go, this has to be the low from a risk to reward. Now, at the time we drew this, this candle moved 75 points, and I said you would literally have to risk 75 points to get this ATR for it to be a good trade in terms of one-to-one risk to reward. Now that has traded, and obviously I didn't take that trade, but that has traded, and I just really do not see anything. So the only to the long side, the only thing I would potentially look for if it trades, and I'm happy to give it one go, maybe two, but probably just one go, would be any breaks below 840s, and I would be risking potentially 880s for a move back down. That's all I've got for now. We just have to be aware that unusual days are going to trade. I looked at this morning, just to bring this up for anyone that is new in the room. It's a very important sheet to look at in terms of resources. I know those who've been in the room a while will already know this, but it's nice to go through it. For anyone that is new and doesn't really understand what this is, 1 second. For anyone that's in the room that's new and doesn't really understand what this is, it's essentially saying the probability of seeing at least X consecutive losing trades within a 100 trade period. Now, I would like to say probably on average, I'm taking at least 100 trades within a month, right? At least, I would say, which is about 5 trades a day, maybe less. But let's just say you took 100 trades in a month, right? That means at some point in that month, you're going to take X number of losing trades consecutively, right? Even with a 65% win rate, okay, you're going to take 3 back-to-back losses 95% of the time, okay? I probably have 65 to, at times, 80% win rate, right? Even if you said 90% win rate, that means you're still going to take 2 back-to-back losses 60% of the time. So although it's quite rare for me to lose and have losing days, I'm not even classing trades as a losing trade, I'm classing a losing day, trades and days, right? It's still going to happen. It's just how we deal with it when it happens. And the good thing is about this, it only happens on average, even if you say once a month, right? If you can make $50,000 in a month and it costs you $5,000 to reset, you do that every time, right? Even 10,000, right? Whatever. Like, so this is a really good thing just to come back to and say, look, even with a 65% win rate, 60% of the time I'm going to take 4 back-to-back losses. Now, what does back-to-back losses mean? If you use a 100-point stop or a 50-point stop, there's 200 points there that you're potentially going to lose. With just one micro, that's $400. So you just need to tell yourself, can I withstand that? With one mini, that's $4,000. Again, can you withstand that? That's what we need to be looking at. I think a lot of people don't look at how many back-to-back losses can I take before, blowing up. And this is a really good sheet. If you are new in the room, take a look at this sheet. Other than that, guys, we'll call it there. We're going to go live on Whoop. Yeah, really straightforward. It's going to be a bit of a boring day for me. I don't have any longs here. The only longs I would really be taking, I'll let you know on stream, but it's about 400 points below. If we get a massive 400-point drop, yes, there'll be some longs I potentially take, but it's probably going to set us up for tomorrow if I take any longs whatsoever. The only edge I really see would be to the short side, and I know that sounds pretty crazy with having such a large move up, so that short may not even get executed. We could just literally barcode the rest of the day. So we'll just have to see what we get. Spending today basically on my new accounts that I've reset, 41 accounts over 9 firms, and we'll see how we do over the next couple of weeks getting those back to a funded account. So other than that, guys, on YouTube, I will be back tomorrow for Friday's session. Everyone in the room, we will go live on Whoop now.